So, as I stated earlier, Indigenous women are 12 times more likely to be gone missing or murdered in comparison to the general Canadian population. I thought it was pretty important to share the story of Bridget Perrier, who was born in Thunder Bay and adopted by a non-Indigenous family through a program called the 60 Scoop. Um, Usually, when we hear residential schools, we're told the stories as if like they're ancient, and it's funny because the ramifications still go on today. But actually, the program called the 60 Scoop, where the Canadian government ripped Indigenous children from their families and adopted them into non-Indigenous families, was essentially another form of assimilation for the Indigenous people. And oftentimes, when these children arrived at these families, they were molested, tortured, abused. So for Bridget Perrier at 8 years old, she was molested by a family friend and she ended up in a group home at 11 years old. At 12 years old, she learned all about the sex trade through the other girls at her like group home. Um, she was told to base her happiness off of others' happiness, which is really messed up. Um, for a little girl at like this age, their brain is still developing, so it really sticks with them. And at 14 years old, she was held captive for 48 hours. And during that 48 hours, she was brutally raped and tortured. Um, she was able to escape, fortunately, but unfortunately, she escaped through a pimp who essentially had her in the same work in Toronto. Now, thankfully, she lived to tell her story when she got out of the game in 1999 when she had her first child.